Hey there, Battalion fans. Greg Bowman here, and welcome back to Battalion Marching Orders. Last week, we heard from Mason Primo, a draft pick of the Vegas Golden Knights, and what he wants to do to bounce back this upcoming season for the Battalion. Well, this week, we've got another centerman for the troops, Captain Luke Moncada, who's looking to maintain a torrent scoring pace that he established last season. First and foremost here, Luke, how good does it feel just to know that you will be playing this season? Well, fingers crossed, though.
It feels amazing, obviously. For a few months there, we were kind of in the dark, and then to get that news a few weeks ago that we're going to be having a season, it just feels good, especially going into my OA season this year. I'm really, really grateful we're going to get to play, and I'm really excited to get back up to North Bay in December.
Yeah, did you have some doubts throughout the summer that maybe you wouldn't get that final season under your belt?
Yeah, like at points, especially as it started to get into kind of June and July when there was really no information. Those doubts start to creep in. And I think the way the cases in Ontario were going and stuff like that it kind of, we were trending in the right direction. So I was optimistic, but there was definitely points where that doubt does start to creep in.
So how do you spend your summer like that if you're not 100% sure that you'll be coming back to the O and you don't necessarily know what hockey or necessarily your future looks like? What do you do to just kind of stay prepared mentally?
Well, I think that I just tried to kind of do things the same way I regularly would. Obviously, nothing was really regular these past few months, but I just tried to do things in the same way that I normally would. So just tried to stay working out, stay fit, get on the ice whenever I could. There was a little bit less ice availability, so obviously I wasn't able to skate as much. But in terms of my off-ice fitness, I just tried to focus on that, and then just mentally, just kind of hold it together and just hold out until you get an answer, and then there's not really much you can do from there, right? Until you get an answer from the league and from kind of the authorities. And then now that we've gotten that go ahead that we're going to play, things kind of are going to take the same course they usually would for me, just a couple of months delayed.
If you look down your statistical line, there's a bit of an outlier last season. You averaged nearly a point per game. Your point production was way up from your previous two seasons in the OHL. I want to talk about those first two seasons here with the Battalion, though, and just some of the adjustments and the challenges that you maybe faced in just being acclimated to the OHL brand of hockey.
So for me, as a younger player, obviously sometimes you're not going to get the offensive opportunity that you'd get as an older guy. When I was younger, I just tried to work on, my defensive game, having the coach be able to trust me to put me out on the ice in kind of crucial moments and stuff like that. So I would say I definitely had a more defensive role on the team. Moving forward throughout the summers, every year you just try to get that little bit better. You try to round out your game a little bit more. And then last season I got the opportunity early on, and I kind of just took it and ran with it. There's nothing much more to it than that. Is that I kind of worked really hard for a couple of years there and got that opportunity, and then it's what you do with it that counts. And I think I took advantage of that opportunity all season long.
Did things kind of slow down for you at all in last year compared to those previous 2 years? Like, was there just kind of a change that you noticed in yourself, or was it just a matter of the puck finally going in a little bit more?
Well, I think that the longer you've been in this league, you start to kind of settle into the routine, settle into the pace that the games are going at. So I think that for me, the game kind of slowed down in terms of, not gripping my stick so tight and just kind of making the plays I knew I could make and having confidence to make those plays. So in terms of change in the way I looked at it, I would say that was definitely it. As an older player, your confidence kind of goes up, and you know what to expect night in and night out.
Last season was a tough one for the troops, a bit of an up and down one, and resulted in a bit of a staffing and coaching change there too. I mean, obviously you don't want to speak negatively of a previously coaching regime, but what were some of the things that the new coaching change brought on that you think maybe led to that sort of turnaround towards the end of the year?
Well, I think that any time in hockey, especially when things aren't going great as a club, unfortunately, a lot of the time it gets pointed towards the head coach. I don't think it was Stan's fault at all. I think as a team, we kind of just needed a change. And unfortunately, that's just the way the hockey kind of business works. I think when Uli came in, you have a fresh face there, and everyone's kind of gets a chance to turn the page and play for a different person, see things in a different kind of light, and approach the game in a different way. Not necessarily a better way, but just a different way. And a lot of the times that helps, right? Especially when you've had such a poor start to the season. So when he came around, I think we started to really just focus on our consistency, We tried to get better in practice every day. There was a few different things that he taught us that we began to look at, and then we stuck to that for a couple of months. And when you work hard like that and you kind of dedicate yourself to getting better every day, I think that regardless, you're going to start to get the results you're looking for, and that's kind of what happened with our group.
Can you think back to any specific moments, or maybe if it's a week in that season where you realize things were starting to come together pretty specially?
Honestly, I don't think it was something that happened like an overnight or even over a week type of thing. It was like a building a tower, just every day adding another block, continuing to build and get better than the previous day. And then eventually that tower is going to get pretty big and the team's going to start to find that success. So no, I can't think back to a specific moment.
Is that tower analogy your words, or is that Ryan's terms?
That's one that I use, but we use stuff like that all the time, whether it's a snowball effect or a tsunami, a wave. There's a lot of different analogies and stuff that he likes to use, and they all kind of go together and they all kind of represent the same thing. So I guess in a way I did kind of take that from him.
It'll just maybe you got to give credit where it's due there.
Yeah.
I want to talk about coming into this season now. It was a busy off season for you guys too. A lot of newer faces, as well as some younger faces who got a lot of playing time last year, who are going to be seeing a lot more, a kind of a mixed bag, so to speak. And you're going to be a leader amongst all of them, not only with the letter on your chest, but just the experience that you have with this team. How do you feel now stepping into maybe more of a leadership role this season?
Well, I think with a young group like that, it's a huge honor to have that leadership role, because you know that you're going to have a big impact and a big effect on the majority of the guys in the locker room. I think that it's really important that we have a great leadership group this year, whether it's, me, Mason, Russell, or any guy who's just had a little bit of experience, like you said. With a young group, you got to kind of keep things even and kiltered. There's going to be ups and downs with them emotionally. Like I said earlier, they don't really know what to expect the way a guy like me or a guy like Mitchell Russell or Mason Primo would, or a Brandon Coe who's been in the league 3 or 4 years. So that's what you just got to kind of do as an older player, is kind of guide them and help them through those ups and downs, and try to get them to bring their best game night in and night out.
Now, it's easy to do that when you're at the rink every day, but it's another story here in the off season when you knew that these guys were a part of your team, but you didn't necessarily know when you'd be able to see them. Did you make a point to try and reach out to some of those new faces and try and say, welcome to the team, and here's what you can kind of expect here?
Yeah, I think I spoke with almost every single one of our new guys. I don't think I've been in touch with the 2 European players we picked up, just because when they initially got drafted or traded in here, the time change kind of made things a little bit wonky. So I'm looking forward to meeting them when we all kind of get into North Bay in December. But everyone else I've kind of spoke with, just introduced myself on a personal level. So that way when they get to camp, I know that feeling when you're a young kid like that, showing up to play in the OHL, and just to have someone there that you kind of have already spoken to, their name, and you can just kind of ask a question. Hey, where's this? Hey, what time's this? Is always a big step for feeling comfortable, and guys play better, and they have more successful seasons when they feel comfortable that first year.
Let's talk about one of those new additions, Matvei Guskov. You had the pleasure of playing against him over the last couple of years when he was a member of the London Knights. You would have matched up against him down the middle of the ice there too. What can you say about his game, and how do you think it'll fit with your guys' brand of hockey?
I love that. I love that deal that Adam Dennis made. I think that he's a guy who's a little bit older. He's got a lot of speed, a lot of skill. Obviously, he's an NHL draft pick, and anytime you can add somebody of that caliber to your team, it helps. I think as a team, we're trying to move in that direction of a fast-paced, skilled kind of game, and I think he fits exactly into that. So I'm really excited to have him on board next season.
Communication, that's a word that I've heard from almost everyone I've talked to who's a member of the team right now, and it's one that it seems to have some importance with your guys' club. Just maybe speak on what communication means to you and its importance as far as just building success for a team.
I think that this year more than ever, communication is really key for our group. I think that when you spend, it's going to be close to 9 months away from hockey, that your brain can kind of slip out of the mindset you need to be in to come in and compete and all the systems and all the things that just come with being a player. So I think the communication throughout this offseason between the players individually, between themselves, between our staff and our players, between our equipment staff, between our medical staff, and all that stuff, just to kind of get things back on track and get guys back in that hockey mindset is really, really, really important. Like always, but this summer, especially when everyone's been apart for so long and people are kind of spread out, that communication is really, really key.
Obviously, NHL playoffs going on right now. I'm sure you've been watching a little bit when you can here and there. Who's someone in the NHL that you think your game most resembles?
I try to not think of it as a single player. I try, when I think about who my game resembles, to kind of take things away from different players. Like, when you watch Nathan MacKinnon skate through the neutral zone, I love the way his speed, he's dynamic. The way he enters the zone is amazing. But, maybe I would like to model my defensive game after a centerman like Jamie Benn or something like that, So I don't try to grab it all from one guy. I think that when I'm thinking about who I might model my game after, I kind of pick and choose from the players where I like those certain aspects of their game and try to, kind of mold myself into the best player I think I could be.
And lastly, your message to North Bay Battalion fans this season. What can they expect if they tune into a game?
They can expect a fast-paced game. I think a very exciting brand of hockey. I think we're going to be very, very quick through the neutral zone and creative in the offensive zone. That's always a fun game of hockey to watch. I think we're going to be really committed and really bought into what we need to do to win. And when you can come to the rink and you know what you expect out of your hometown team and you know what you're going to get out of them on a night-to-night basis, I think that's a really fun thing. And, we love to do that, and we love to play in front of our fans. So looking forward to being back in North Bay in December and playing in front of them again.
Troops Captain Luke Moncada, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Greg.